So I thought with the current pandemic going on that it would be fun to cover the 28 franchise. So we're going to start here with 28 Days, starring Sandra Bullock as a woman who gets checked into rehab. Yes, that joke was fucking expected, but we're going to actually talk about the Danny Boyle, Alex Garland film, 28 Days Later, starring Cillian Murphy, who should spell his name with a K to eliminate the confusion so that we know it's Killian and not Cillian. Yeah. So, now, this is always debated on whether this is a zombie movie or not. And of course, you've got people with very strong opinions in one way or the other. I don't know why this is something you'd have a strong opinion about, but you know what? For me, they call it what? An infected movie? Hey, okay. I mean, it's a zombie movie. Let's be realistic. People get bit, they change, they kill other people. Those people kill other people. They get up, they seem unstoppable. I mean, yeah, it's not a classic zombie. They're not dead. So, but for me, I don't know. I consider it a zombie movie. I don't see the issue. I don't see the problem. I don't really care. I guess is what it comes down to. So for me, it's a zombie movie. That's the easiest classification. Everyone's gonna think it's a zombie movie for the most part anyway. And if you're gonna try to talk anyone who's seeing this who hasn't seen it or like heard of it, or if people have heard of it and haven't seen it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that zombie movie." But I don't know. People like to split hairs, but yeah, it is what it is. But I thought I'd address it anyways. So the rage virus. The opening of this kind of reminds me. The very very opening kind of reminds me of Peter Jackson's The Dead Alive. I was like, wait, what's the other version? Brain Dead, right? Yeah. God, I love that movie so much. Then it jumps straight to what reminds me, of course, of The Walking Dead with a Rick Grimes type character waking up from a coma. Now, this movie was made in 2002, and The Walking Dead's first comic came out in 2003. So I definitely think there was a teeny bit of little inspiration going on there for Walking Dead. They probably have admitted that for all I know, but I don't know every bit of trivia ever. Now, this is definitely my kind of film because he wakes up and it is, for the first 10 minutes, a Where Is Everybody movie, which you guys know I absolutely love. Now, the film looks like shit. It's not an aesthetically pleasing movie. That said, I feel like it fits the tone. I feel like it fits this, the setting. So even though it's not a good looking movie, it serves its purpose. It kind of makes things feel more grim, more gritty. So I don't mind. It's not crisp clear. We don't need that in a movie like this. So I don't know though, like, yes, I get that it's a style choice, but it still does kind of look like shit. I feel like you could have it look like this and still not look as, I don't know. It looks cheap. For me, when I watch it, I feel like, wow, this feels low budget as fuck. Even though there's a lot of stuff going on in it that suggests that the budget is higher. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so now Cillian Murphy wakes up like Rick Grimes, except for we get to see Dick Grimes here. Yes, Cillian Murphy bears all. Dropping dong in a movie, as my friend John Sansone. Sansone? Is that how you say his last name? Sansoni? Maybe something like that. It always says dropping dong, and I find it funny. I've never actually said it until right now, but there you go. My very first time saying it. But yeah, you don't see a lot of that. You don't see a lot of that. But you know what you see even less of? A vagina. Like, we see the hair, like the pubic area of a vagina. So if like a girl's standing there, it's just that. But you never ever see actually the fucking pussy, like the actual lips and everything. Almost never. I mean, almost never. With Basic Instinct, the leg cross. How often do you see an actual vagina on screen in a movie? Like, you'll see dicks every once in a while. That's rarer, but nothing is rarer than a vagina. Maybe a butthole. I'll never see that. So those are like the two taboo things, I guess. Um, but yeah, he shows his dick as well as I'm saying. I was sitting there thinking earlier, like, who are the bigger named actors that have done that in movies? Not like a freeze frame, Bruce Willis in Pulp Fiction when he goes to sit on the toilet and you can see for like a millisecond. I'm talking like full on screen. I meant to do this. I wanted to show you my dick. Giovanni Ribisi in Suburbia, or fucking Harvey Keitel in like half the movies he's on. Um, Especially when he does that dance. I think that's in Bad Lieutenant, right? How many? Yeah. Never mind. I was gonna ask you guys to like post all the movies with the famous dicks in them. Go ahead. Fuck it. Well, let's do it. People are gonna be like, "What the hell is this comment thread?" Let's see the comments. Let's see all the dicks, all the famous dicks on screen. And then I like that when he's walking around, he's focusing on obvious things. Like he's scared. And could you imagine waking up like this? He's a bike courier. He gets hit. He wakes up. Somebody was nice enough to leave him a key in there. I'm not sure how the hell he survived that long because, it's 28 days. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how long would that hospital have been functioning to the point where they were keeping care of him? Who locked that door, slid the key under the door, stuff like that? How did he stay alive for so long without food, without hydration, without anything? Yeah, he had like a fucking a saline bag in him or something. So he was keeping hydrated, but you're talking he was weeks without nourishment. I didn't see a feeding tube on him or anything, so I don't know. That seems a little ridiculous, but whatever. Let's move past it. But when he's out in the world, like, of course, he's kind of just reacting normally. He's like, "What the hell's everybody?" And then he sees money laying everywhere, and of course he grabs it because the world as he knew it, that was important. But when systems like this fall and chaos ensues, and cities just collapse, money doesn't matter anymore. This thing that we as humans on this fucking planet right now, we put above all else. Like, it's good as kindling for a fire or something. Once it all happens, like, nobody gives a shit anymore because obviously it doesn't have any value anymore. And life, water, food, that's what has true value. But yeah, just seeing him pick up the money, just, of course, anytime I see that in movies, when I see these post-apocalyptic things and you see money laying everywhere, reminds me of like Dawn of the Dead when they go in the bank and they still grab the money because it's just kind of ingrained into us. Like, do you imagine even in the post-apocalyptic world, it would be hard to not like have a moment's hesitation of seeing like a bank vault open, like hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting inside. You're like, well, maybe this will clear up one day and I'll need that money. Maybe we should just go grab that. And so then this is where he goes in, and the scariest shot of the entire movie to me is when he goes in and he sees all those bodies laying on top of each other, and he just like quietly says hello, and like two rage zombies or two rage infected people, whatever you want to call them, sit up, and the look on one of their faces where its mouth is like agape and it's just like slack jawed, and he's like, and it's like really dark, but you can still see his face. It's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I've seen this movie a few times now. Every time I see it, it's just so scary looking. The way they move, the lack of music, the tone, everything, the look on the guy's face, the angle, the distance, the lighting, all of it is just perfect. It is so fucking scary. And then he walks away and he runs into the father of the church and like hits him in the head, and he's like, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have done that." Of course, not knowing what the hell he's dealing with at this point. And it's interesting how fast, like, everything you've known your entire life can fall apart. Like, yeah, you would never hit a priest that was coming at you. You would never, see money laying in the street. You never, like, all these things that you're not used to. It's interesting how fast you can kind of adapt to it. Um, yeah, I don't know. These movies always make me wonder, what would a post-apocalyptic type of world look like? Like, what if this pandemic we're going through right now, what if COVID-19 killed, like 60% like the bird flu did? What if that happened, except for it got out and everywhere it was rampant and we were like in our houses? Like, I can't even imagine. How bad things would get and how fast they would get there. It's terrifying to think about. It's seriously something that just mortifies me. People are reactionary, and that group mentality, it just, I don't know. You see it in stuff like The Mist. You see all these people turning on each other and sacrificing one another and turning to religion and turning to anything that'll find them comfort and doing absolutely anything to feel better about it and trying to hoard food and water and locking people out and killing people. It's just, I don't know, stuff like this always gets to me when I watch it. It's just, especially when it feels realistic. We don't know what would actually happen, but we have a pretty damn good idea. And when something feels realistic, it always kind of bums me out, because I just sit there going, wow, like, even though this is fictional, is it? Like, would the behavior of these people, would it, if something like the rage virus broke out, do you imagine how fast everyone would turn on each other? All these neighbors you like say hi to every day and everything, you're thinking everything's fine, and then the purge happens, and then they're breaking in, they're trying to kill you. Wild stuff. Another super, super strong element of this movie, the music, especially that last song, of course, when Jim, Cillian Murphy's character, is like going through the house. We'll get there, but the music throughout that whole thing, and it's the theme music of the 28 franchise. They use it a lot in 28 Weeks Later as well. Just fantastic, pitch perfect for the scenes that it's used in, and the music throughout is fantastic. The way that it's placed, all of it, the editing in this, the frantic camera movement, but still nothing feels like overly edited and overly frantic. There's not so much shaky cam that you're getting sick, but there's enough that it feels tense. Great stuff there, just great stuff. Danny Boyle, he's a fantastic director, so not to be, or to be expected, should I say. And I already talked about all of that. And then, okay, so they go and they find Jim's parents, Selena. He meets Selena, and I don't know if the other guy's ever named. He doesn't last very long. But they go to Jim's parents' house, and Jim's parents, he finds them dead of suicide. They took pills. They went out the way they wanted to, and he, oh man, just couldn't imagine like waking up to that world, waking up to the most unbelievable scenario imaginable. Like, it's not only bad enough that you lost a month of your life, that you got hit while being a bicycle courier, and kind of waking up in this post-apocalyptic world and realizing that everything's went to shit, everyone's out to kill you, and then the two people that you care about most in the world, you try to go and find, and when you get there, they're dead. And it was a suicide, and there's this note for you on your baby picture. Mentally, what's this guy going through? And then not 10 seconds later, I don't know about 10 seconds, but we'll say within a minute or two, he sees that the two people that he was just currently with, one of them gets attacked, the other one hacks her friend to death right in front of him brutally. What were you thinking at that point? Like, what are you thinking in those moments? Like, I just saw my parents that, like, you don't even want to live at that point. You're like, that's just another thing. Like, we get it every once in a great while, but I guess the survival mode kicks in, but I just feel like there'd be so many people who would just be like, fuck it, I'm out, I'm not doing this, just kill me, I don't want to live. I think that's easier said than done, though. So I think maybe we do think we'd do that, but when it really comes down to it, I think killing yourself when you don't really want to die is almost impossible. You want to live, so you're not going to do it. But yeah, just having to witness all of this stuff. And then before that, though, the story that the guy who gets hacked to death by Selena tells about how he was like trying to get on a train or a plane, something like that. And like he was there with his parents, and the guy was like trying to pay him off. And then he said that, there was just like, he looked down, he was just standing on bodies, and like you couldn't run, you could just climb. That's the kind of stuff like, there's all different ways to tell stories. There's all different mediums to convey and to tell these stories in. And I think every one of them kind of has their strengths, whether it's film or television or just straight up like verbal storytelling. There's something about the way he tells that story. It's the emotion that's involved, it's the detail, and of course it's our mind, like as the listener. Our mind is scarier than anything that we can produce on film. Like, and I think that when he's telling that story, it just kind of reminds me that in those moments when something's dire like that, when you're telling a really, really, it's not a good story, of course, but it is a well-told story. The descriptions, the emotion, all of that, it would be so hard to convey that on film, and it's actually scarier in the way he says it in the movie. And it's like, watching him say it in that moment would have been better than them like, overlaying film footage of that actual event taking place. Like, I liked that it was more of a visualization in his head. I'm sure that was a budgetary thing, but regardless, the way he tells the story, just, I don't know. Every version of storytelling has its strengths and its weaknesses. And there's just something about that when he's talking about it. I was just like, damn, man. I'm filling in all these blanks in my head, and I'm seeing just these crazy things. And I just don't feel like film could have captured that. So, but maybe I'm wrong. But you can't really convey that emotion as well as somebody showing it to you in their through their facial expressions and whatnot, telling the story. Anyway, all right, and the infection spreads so fast. This has got to be one of the fastest spreading zombie infection type viruses I've ever seen in a movie. It's 10 seconds. I mean, it's so fast. It's crazy. And the way they infect, and I like that if you get their blood in your wounds, if you get it in your eyes, if you get it in your mouth, if you get, like, that'll change you. Thank you. We need more of that in zombie movies. That said, we're yet in another movie where I'm sitting there like, if you're aware of this information, why are you not wearing a mask? Get one of those like riot shields where you just like pop the face mask over and it's all, plastic in the front. Like, why are these guys never wearing like leather jackets that you can't bite through? Why are they never wearing any eye protection? Even fucking sunglasses, for fuck's sake. Like, I don't know. That kind of stuff drives me nuts in these movies. Like, that you get anything in your eyes, in your mouth, and you're hacking these infected people up, or zombies, sorry. I guess I can't decide what I want to say. But you're hacking these things up. There's no way. Like, I've never hacked someone up or any living thing, but I can only assume that if I was to take a machete and just start hacking somebody up, blood would be going in my mouth and in my eyes. Yeah, I'd be going everywhere else, but there's no way I could keep it out of my mouth and my eyes. There's just no way. It would, if a crow can fucking drip it right down into your eye perfectly, imagine hacking up somebody. Ridiculous. So then they go out and they find this family. God dang it! I gotta stop recording these reviews so late, but it's the only time I have to do them. So we got we got Brendan Gleeson here, who's just a fantastic actor. I love this dude, so seeing him in pretty much anything is always great to me. And he's fantastic in this, of course, and the bond he has with his daughter, father-daughter shit. You guys know I'm a sucker for that stuff. Cillian Murphy's character goes in and he tries to shave, and he's like taking a Bic razor and he's running it across his face, and he can't even get like a hair off of his face, and he's bleeding. And then they like cut to the next scene and he has his face completely clean shaven and he has a haircut much like mine. It's like a perfect haircut. Really? They don't have power, so he didn't use clippers. What did he cut that hair with? I've been a hairdresser for 16 years. What did he cut that fucking hair with? I want to know. I want to know how he has a perfectly fucking even haircut with no electrical tools at all and no prior knowledge of how to cut hair. Could I do it? Sure. With my equipment, sure. With my scissors and my comb, or my shears, sorry. I know it's stupid. Moving on. I just always find that funny in movies. They drive the car over the other cars and they're like laughing while they're doing it. And then their car gets a flat and they're having to change it in the madness. And that scene's pretty damn tense. Then they get out of there finally. And damn. Already? And then they run in, and then he gets the blood in the eye, and they feel like they have to kill him, but then the army guys come in, kill him, take him away, and this is where we find that the place they were heading was not what they thought it was going to be. These guys are assholes. They take Jim out to kill him. They're gonna rape Selena and Frank's daughter. Can't remember what her name is. Hannah, right? Yeah, Hannah. They're going to rape Hannah. They're going to rape Selena. And they take Jim out. They're going to execute his ass. And because of the other guy, he gets the jump on him. He hides amongst the bodies, which is really smart. And then he goes and he takes his shirt and he throws it up on the razor wire. And that distracts them to think that he left the compound, which is another really smart move. And then he runs back. And then this is when shit gets awesome, man. I mean, okay. I love the use of the music. I love the lighting. I love when he releases that Bub-type character. I love all that stuff. And the way it all plays out is pretty great. And I do love a lot of it. And I love that, Selena gives Hannah a drug and it's like, here, like, we're going to get raped. Like, but here, this will make you not give a shit. You'll just sit there and you'll take it and hopefully, you won't be too mentally damaged after. So she does the good thing, the nice thing, and tries to lessen the blow, so to speak. But the only real issue I have with this scene is that throughout the movie, Selena is a badass. Selena is the one not to be trifled with. And Jim is kind of the, normal guy. He's not a pussy, but he's just a normal guy. Nothing wrong with that. So, she's the protector. She's the badass in this. But then she becomes very docile, and he becomes like Rambo. I don't know about that. That just feels off to me. Selena is just like, here, we're going to get raped. Like, just take the pill. Let's get this over with. We're going to get it. I guess she just kind of concedes to it. But then, okay. I'm willing to accept all of that, I guess. And the whole Rambo thing, he's pissed off, he wants vengeance, he comes in, he makes the right moves, he releases it, he uses the cover of rain and lightning and everything and all that. Okay, fine. Fine. But then he comes in on the main, not the main guy, not the leader. That's the guy that gets killed in the car by Hannah when she drives him backwards into the infected and they take him. But the guy before that, the cunt that wants to shoot him out in the pile of bodies, he's fighting this guy, and Selena just sits there like a damsel in distress, like, oh my god, Jim, no, Jim, are you okay, Jim? Bullshit. The Selena I know who hacked her fucking friend to death, would have been on that guy faster than Jim would have ever been on him. So I don't know. That scene just feels very off to me. And then she goes to kill Jim. who she thinks is infected. And maybe that's what it is. Okay, maybe. Okay, I could buy that. I guess maybe I talked myself in, because she thinks Jim's infected. So she's not going to go help because she already thinks Jim's, gone. Not dead, obviously, but pretty much dead. Good as dead. So maybe she thought he was infected and she was going to wait for him to kill him so that she could kill Jim's infected body. I could accept that. I could accept that. So I think I can accept all of it now that I've talked it out. Good talk, guys. Thanks, guys. It's weird talking to a camera sometimes in an empty room. Kind of lonely. Anyone want to come over? No? Okay. Oh, he also sees a plane spreading chemtrails. We have a lot of chemtrail guys here. And I'll get a comment or two below. Chemtrails are real, bro. They're real, bro. They're not condensation from the engine. That's a lie. They're poisoning us, bro. You just don't know the truth. Why don't you shut up about things you don't know about? Because I was in the government and I know. Those people, man. Those fucking people. They never... See, that's the thing with conspiracy theories. You have to give me a why first. You have to give me a why. A really strong why on why so many people would be in on it. Like a flat earth thing or something. Okay, I'm not going to get too into it, but it's just wild to me that they're able to be like, well, I don't have to come up with a reason why literally millions of fucking people would have to be in on the conspiracy for it to work. Millions. And none of them have ever come forward. Not one of them. Millions. Anyway, moving on. Just don't be dumb. Just don't be dumb. Think, please. I just lost like 10 subscribers. That's all right. The chemtrails made him do it. Yeah, his hair grows so much in a month. I mean, maybe they were giving him like fucking gelatin pills or something while he was out. And then I don't know what happens to them. The plane flies over and they're helped. Or they got the hello out there. I like that it flashes hell because they don't have the O down and he's asleep and you think that's good imagery. That's good storytelling there. So there it is. Great movie, really really good, and the sequel is really good too. So let's jump on over to that.